do have some things to go into before we get into those things. So a lot of people have been asking, when is the next race, Wolfpack? The next race is going to be this Saturday. All right, it's going to be this Saturday, tentatively planned, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the race. Now, remember how the race is going to work. Remember how the format works. All right, we're going to have a free practice session, and that's going to start at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes to the time that we're going to start the quali and the race. You'll have time, if you didn't make it by free practice, you'll have time to get in for qualifying in the race. But once we start qualifying the race, it's a deadlock, all right? What's up, Mary Beanie? What's going on? What's up, CHXGH? What's going on? Good morning. So we're going to do that. Also, be here. Be here this weekend on a live. We have a new Tier 1 VIP box member that I'm going to award their VIP box. Please be here this weekend to join me in congratulating that person, as I will ask everybody, as I always do, to be here to congratulate you when you get your VIP box or your VIP bag, which now Maria Duncan has got the last VIP Purple Collection bag. Other items will go into 2023 to be giveaways for the Quali Kickback Trivia Show. If you haven't been here when we do Quali Kickback Trivia, we have a qualifying live watch. I give trivia questions. The winners this season got gift cards worth $50 or $25, but going into next season, we're going to do some little giveaways here and there. We're going to do something different, all right? So let's get into a lot of things that happen, because evidently it's not only drivers moving about the grid, it is also team principals and other administrative positions that are moving about the grid that could form up and shape the landscape of Formula One going into 2023, which is exciting for me. Things like this are exciting for me because now we have other variables to consider. How will these affect the teams, the progress or not? How will we see these teams develop the car or not? How will we see the grid and championship standings, driver and constructors form up? These are going to be interesting things. These are interesting variables because now not only do we have drivers that are going around like musical chairs, we have other positions changing that could affect those drivers depending on where they are right now. So let's just go into a few of these. Not going into a bunch of rocket science, but I also a big shout out and congratulations to all of these guys. I would assume that to some degree that this is indeed a boost in their career, something that they have wanted to aspire for, a goal for them. So big shout out, congratulations to everybody that we're going to speak to right now. Not going into any personal things, maybe, the type of person they are right now. We're just talking about in position, and especially you. If there's something going on in your life where you have got promoted, you achieved a goal, a milestone, congratulations, and I'm happy for you as well. But let's talk about Fred, okay? Fred definitely in the game with Renault, F1 2016. He's ninth in world, I think, in the championship standings. They were ninth then, not too many wins, if any wins then at all. But he also had drivers under his helm then like Jolyon Palmer, K-Mag, Ocon, I think Ocon, even Sergey. So he had some experience there. Didn't last long. Well, I don't want to say didn't last long. Let's say I could say prematurely ended due to alignment of goals. Philosophies weren't aligning. Things that they or he wanted didn't line up. So he ended up departing there. Ended up going to Sauber. Sauber, then we know it, of course, turns to Alfa Romeo. For those that don't know, Sauber was there, and then Alfa Romeo comes in. And then you still have to think about this. Well, we could talk about that later because it would more likely affect somebody else than him because Fred is leaving Alfa Romeo, the Sauber chassis, and he's going to Ferrari, okay? Now, as Sauber's, when he had his attention or he had his connection with Charles or Shaw, however you want to say it, and what Barry Beanie says, FI president, there was admission he made. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But he had his introductory to Charles there. And now I'm kind of wondering, how is Fred's personality, his philosophy, his ideology, how and what is he going to be able to bring to Ferrari that may enable Ferrari to make a turnaround? Because I could pretty much be sure the last couple of seasons of Ferrari have not been great either by performance and or what we can lightweight say cheating, right? Cheating because they had a situation, they were audited, they were investigated, they were fined. We didn't get the privy to find out what all findings they found to give them a fine, but Ferrari have had a rough few seasons. I mean, it's not like Ferrari haven't had other seasons that were rough. I'm just saying in the past few seasons, notably to other people who are just coming into the sport, you would think that coming right in, Ferrari should be top dog, and Ferrari has not been that. Ferrari gifted Red Bull a championship definitely this season. What's up, Musa? And they fell on their face. And I think there were some issues or some problems with Binotto and Charles, even though Charles says, if you really listen to him, Charles kind of, when they ask him how he feels about it, he's just like, I thanked him and all this other stuff. But I don't think Charles is sad to see Binotto go and Fred come in. I really don't get those vibes from Charles. I think he's okay with the movement or the exit of Binotto and the entrance of Fred. I think he's very well okay with that. And we'll have to see how long he's okay with that coming into 2023. Because I think, just like myself, I think a lot of you are wondering what's going to go on with the Ferrari fiasco. I don't know if a lot of things change just by changing the team principle, but it could. I don't know if later on there's going to be a need to change the drivers, but it could, right? We could see all of these things happen, and you're going to have to you're going to have to find a equation that's going to work and give you wins, and Ferrari should be doing it. I mean, they're getting a goddamn bonus for being the longest standing team in Formula One of more millions and millions of dollars. And they definitely not living up to what they should be, being the Formula One love child. All right, so then let's go to the next move within these team principles. Let's go on over to Jost Capito. This guy, I really didn't care much for Jost. Just saying, especially some of the comments he made towards Lewis Hamilton and other people, trying to call for Lewis Hamilton's job, basically for him to retire ahead of when he wants to retire, and where we see that he really legitimately should retire is bullshit. Like, come on now. There are other people that you could look at and say, you might want to consider, leaving the game. But Jost is out. Cap is out, ironically, as Sargent comes in, right? It usually doesn't work, that chain of command. But Sargent comes in, Cap is out. He was appointed that position after Dalton acquired Williams. And I've heard some say that he's done a good job there. I'm not sure he's done a good job. I think maybe he's done a different job. He's done some different things. I'm not too sold on him really taking Williams to levels in which they've fallen from. Like, if you don't know, Williams was a phenomenal team in the day, a phenomenal championship, world constructing winning team in the day. And I personally would like to see Williams, who also receive a bonus, I think the Heritage bonus. I personally, and big shout out and rest in peace to Frank, I personally would like to see Williams return to greatness. I think it would be an awesome story. We all love stories, but on top of it being an awesome story, if a team was once great, I just like to see them return to being great. And I don't think ever that that's a bad thing. If we have more great teams on the grid, as for us as viewers, it's an awesome thing because we get to go into race weekends with a highly competitive grid and race to walk away from and talk about. And that's never a bad thing. So if Williams could ever find their way from the bottom of the damn pit's catfish territory and return to the top level where oxygen itself is more plentiful and breathe wins again, I am all for that, definitely. All for that, definitely. Jost evidently wasn't the guy that was going to make enough progression in order for, and this might be an indication that Williams is now, remember I said this last season, I said Williams may indeed be tired one day of losing and holding down the bottom and start making changes to the fact that they can start equating to wins versus just accepting drivers because of the money that comes with them. I said this. This indeed can be what may happen. And if it does happen, I'm glad to see it happen. All right. So we will see what moves they make. A Sargent is in. We're going to see what kind of catalyst he can be for the team. We're going to see Albon still, if he's going to progress as far as his ability to be a driver. Can he do things that they would expect him to do? Can he do things that he himself would expect that he should be able to do? But maybe it's not possible. It's almost coming into view, just like Ocon, just like Gasly. Albon is also in my package of drivers where we will start to see their ceilings in view shortly, okay? Ocon is starting to look like his ceiling is here. Gasly, given he's getting another opportunity with another car, and so many people have thought that if Gasly gets a chance with a team where we've seen Gasly legitimately come from a better team, I'm not looking for too much from Gasly. His ceiling to me is right here on the onset. Albon, it's really looking like him as well. So these three drivers, I am looking in 2023 to see if they're going to get off of the plateau, or are they pretty much what they are is what they are going to be for the duration of their existing career in Formula One. And if they are, they will shortly find themselves probably reuniting at the back of the grid with back teams like Haas and Williams. And unless those teams change, we likely, unless new talent comes along that these teams can acquire and invest in, it's likely that Albon and Gasly will reunite at the back of the grid on the way out. Albon, if he can remain there, will be there, and Gasly will fall back there, and then shortly Ocon. So we'll see what happens with these drivers as they go. But Yost definitely didn't do enough, and that's why he don't have the most. He's out of there, okay? Then we're going to go on to Andreas, and I think, hey, I'm all for when people get an ability to go up, and he's going up. He's not making a lateral movement from team principal to team principal at another team. He's making an upward movement and going into a different team, being Sauber. And this is something that is kind of interesting to me, because if he can stay there long enough, we have some other things to talk about, right? Porsche LMP1, from race, I think, operations to team principal. Then he goes to McLaren for team principal. And now he's at Sauber being CEO. Okay. Sauber is going to go under new development management soon. Well, I say soon, but it's some years, but it's going to come sooner than later, of Audi. Now, can he be there that long where he is embraced by Audi, or is this even a move that Audi had input on for their future entry? Were they already there, but entry into Formula One, literally when the four wheels touch the grid under an Audi livery? Will Andreas be there? I don't know. We're really going to have to see what he manages to do or change when it comes to Alfa Romeo and the Sauber chassis, and then the Sauber chassis being Audi. Now, we could say Fred really didn't do a bad job there at Alfa Romeo or Sauber. He didn't do a bad job. I think if you look at some of those years, 8th in World Constructing Championships with Sauber, and then when they turned into Alfa Romeo, or they got the clothing of Alfa Romeo, 6 this season, I believe 6 in championship points, if I'm not mistaken. I believe 6 in championship points, right? Let me check it. It's a lot of things to try to remember. Hell, I'm not an encyclopedia of goddamn information. I'm not gonna remember every damn thing and every tidbit, but let me check and see. But I do believe constructor-wise, Alfa Romeo, they were 6. Okay, so they were 6. Although 6 not being the ultimate highest position that they've been in their existence, because understand, Sauber, it was there. Alfa Romeo has also been in Formula One since the 50s or something. Like, they've been in there a while. And in the 80s, I think they had a 6th position in the championship points. So it's not the highest they've been, but it equals one of the seasons that they've been their highest is 6. Now we want to know, can Andreas take Alfa Romeo, which is going to be going out, Audi's going to be coming in, it's going to be the Sauber chassis. Can he take them higher than that as CEO now? That's going to be his job, to move these pieces around and find a way and find a construct that's going to equal them being constructor champions and have a driver champion. That's what the ideal goal is for every team on the grid. Now being CEO, leaving McLaren, can he do that? That's what's on the table. And that's what we want to know. That's what we want to know about all these moves. Can these guys bring a difference to the teams that you support or driver that you support or sport better more, the sport of Formula One, and make it that much more competitive and interesting, okay? Then we're going to go to Andreas. Stella, he's going up. He's going up. He's going to be the McLaren new team principal effectively immediately, okay? Ferrari race engineer back in the day, so, Ferrari lineage from him. I believe race engineer for, don't quote me on this shit, but I think he's got a pretty extensive experienced background with certain drivers. I want to say Schumacher, Kimi, and likely, there was another one. Kimi and Alonso. Kimi, Alonso, Schumacher. So he definitely has experience with championship drivers, okay? So him being team principal, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. He's worked his way up the ladder within the organization of McLaren since 2015 to now. So I think that's a very good thing for them. They're promoting from within. That's also good. That continuity stays there. So evidently Zach believes that he has the ability to fill that position. And lightweight, I almost look at Zach in a way because Zach, to me, seems more involved on the ground than some other CEOs do. Like, Zach is really heavily involved to me. So it's like almost a co-host of Zach and Andrea Stella being team principal. That's just thanks, Mary Beanie. Appreciate that. Okay, so I was correct on that. Thank you. So I think that because I was really like, shit, because, you say one wrong thing, people are like, you don't know shit, you don't know anything. Like, man, I can't remember every damn thing. You're going to remember some things. Like, trust me, like sometimes I go back and watch old races just to try to go back and see if I look at these races different. And so I'm looking forward to see what all of these guys do, how they change the team. Now let's get into some juicy shit. Let's get into some what Max, the hell was when that? Let's get into that. All right. So right here, okay, we got this. We're gonna go ahead and rewind this first clip. All right. Now this first clip is not. I play this one first because it's the least controversial to me, but it's very funny. The things that are said here, and it's ironic that they're said. And I mean, every driver, I believe every driver believes that they want to be first. I'm just not sure that every driver believes that they are going to be first with what they're given right out of the bag. But evidently, Max Verstappen knew he was going to be world champion in 2022.
Max, today, when did you know that your car was going to win? He said in Bahrain. I said to him, that's too late. So imagine Bahrain, the first race, he knew he's going to win the championship. Well done, sponsorship.
So Max said, bro says, Max knew he was going to be champion in 2022. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a string of things. And I know some people like, Wolfpack ain't made a video. No, I haven't made a video yet because I was just sitting here thinking is it even worth me talking about? This is not new. Should it be surprising? I just think it was funny as hell because 3 is always, listen, it's like these situations. I don't care anything in the life of crime. When you do crime, you have multiple parties that you do crime with unless you do it on a solo. And if you do it on a solo, you're probably better off. But anytime you have a mixture of people that have done a crime or done something or colluded together to do something that is not of integrity, usually those snakes in the pit turn on each other. Usually those rats in the sewer turn on each other at some point in time. And I think this is what you got an opportunity to see at the FIA award giving ceremony is that, yo, I thought we was all together in this shit. Yo, why you talking about me like that? So this one is not even the most interesting as far as Ben saying that Max knew he was going to be champion. These next two clips are hella funny to me.
In my last championship.
Hey, look, you see how you see how Stefano like, hey Ben, cut that shit out. Like, okay, that's enough, Ben. You see how, hey, Stefano over there in his ear like, Ben, can we do this shit not on camera? Stefano trying to get to him, but Ben ain't having it. Ben was like, nah, I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
One thing you said about Japan, you said was controversial. No. The FIA was blamed for the points, but it was not the FIA which made the rules. It was the teams who made the rules, and we were implementing it. So thank you for.
Look at Perez. Look at Perez's face. They all know it. They all are laughing at this shit. Like, Ben might have had too many shots at the bar. He might have drank too much liquor, whatever it was at the bar. Even Perez is like enjoying this shit. Like, yeah, buddy. Like, I'm even thinking myself, like, I'm going to do this award show, but next season, maybe I'm going to act a little different. But they all laughing, like, because they know what's up. They know what's going on inside of there. Okay, they know what's been happening.
Okay, guys.
Yes, you see?
Let's stay focused.
Look, Stefano like, okay, that's enough, guys. That's enough. Break this shit up. No more fighting, kids. Come on, kids. Let's just play together nicely. We all know the bullshit we done. Let's not put it out for the world to indict us and we end up having criminal charges because we colluded together to arrange a championship. Liberty Media is not going to appreciate this shit.
To me, it's very, very clear about the fight.
Yeah, let me take you somewhere else. This shit was funny. This was funny. I could not help but laugh my ass off as all of this was unfolding. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, these guys, and I'm going to say what I have to say when we play this last clip. We're going to play this last clip because this one was the cherry on top.
You know, I'll say something to Christian. Christian, this cup is nothing to do with the cost cap, okay? So be careful. You know, this is from the FIA, so we are not going to deduct it from your cost cap, okay?
No, that's very
Oh
generous.
my gosh! And he comes back, like he comes back for
you
more.
Don't dare saying anything.
No, I didn't say anything.
Yo, that shit is funny. That is funny. Listen, this right, Racer X210. What's up, Wolfpack family? Popping up early in that Central Time. Big shout out to Racer X. Thank you much, man. Big shout out to you. Hey, so this is what I got to say. First, let's talk about the point situation. I think we all as a community and Formula One viewers were looking at that Japan situation. Some people liked it because they just want to see the corruption go on or Max win, or because you like Max and you like Red Bull, and that's not wrong. Like, legitimately, you like Red Bull. You favor Max as a driver, not on no like bias or being aggressive against little shit. You just do, and that's fine. Some people out here are just like delusional and just like corruption to go on, and as long as it's against Lewis Hamilton, they're happy with it. The rest of people were like, what the hell just happened in Japan? Like, what just really happened? Like, we go off the race under these conditions, not completed within a certain percentage, full points not supposed to be given. Max Verstappen definitely going to get the championship at some point in time. It just didn't look like it was going to be Japan. They're in the cool-down rule, and all of a sudden, Max is announced as the world champion. People, I don't give a damn about Christian Horner coming on trying to say, oh, they gave full points and that's something that need. Bro, stop capping. You were happy that they gave full points so Max gets the championship, and then Charles makes a mistake, which makes it even easier for it to happen. Stop capping. Stop capping. Max cost stabbing, backstabbing, Max was stabbing. Listen, all of that happened. Christian Horner, Karen Horner. Stop the BS. Now, I will say still, Christian has a legitimate point about should full points have been awarded, whatever the case was, but I'm pretty sure it was more than not the ability that, either way it goes, it should just look funny. A lot of things have looked funny with this. And I will say this. Aside, I'm going to be so damn objective about this shit. It ain't even funny. I'm going to try to imagine Max Verstappen as a null person. If you know what null is, it's like null. It's no movement at all. Like, I'm not going to try to imagine him as the horrible characterized person that he legitimately factually is. I will say that I'm going to just put somebody else. It's not Max Verstappen. It's just a person. A person who wins the championship should be able to enjoy that championship without all of this clutter and noise around it that just tarnishes it and clouds it, because it does. This doesn't make it any better. All right. But Max has proven that not only is he a part of that environment and that ecosystem at Red Bull, which we have seen from Red Bull Corporation to their developments, to their presentations, to some of their marketing standards, to their actual characters, and the things they've done and said on track are not good, that it is what is going on. And he damn well might be deserving of what all is happening. I don't see Max being a very good person, and these things are starting to unfold, and these are the things that happen when people do bullshit in the dark. It starts creeping to the light, and when you start having somebody like Christian Horner, who has been gifted a championship in 2021 underneath horrible situations, illegal to me situations where you clearly broke the rules. Now we find out not only did you break the rules and get a championship, but you also broke the damn cost cap. And then you come out and throw salt in your co-conspirator's eye by talking about the FIA and points. And then you want to have an issue with the fact that you got a reduced penalty and not only wind tunnel time and a fine, and you got the damn nerve to throw salt in the FIA's eye. Oh man, bro, stop that shit. It won't work well. If I'm doing something that's benefiting you and you come and throw salt in my eye amidst the world, making me look like a fool, oh, bro, you do know you only have the championship because of shit that we've done, right? Okay, when I get on stage, I'm feeling real personal. That looked like a personal situation to me. That looked like a very personal situation that Ben personally was rubbed the wrong way by things Christian said after what Ben, Stefano, and FIA have have done and resulted in you having 2 driver championships and now a world constructor championship. Nah, bro, you're not going to clown me like that. You're not going to clown the FIA like that. It's not going to happen. You do understand who I am. That's what you saw unfolding on stage. That's why you see Stefano getting in Ben's ear and Ben's not having it. Ben's like, no, screw that shit. I'm going to say what I got to say, and I'm going to say it on this stage where the world can see it, because Christian took the opportunity to say it on interviews, to say it on post conferences, to say it amongst journalists about how he felt. I ain't really doing my job. You know what I've done for you, bro? Stop playing. That's what you saw. Pretty much, that's what you saw. That is literally what you saw happening. If that wasn't the case, you would have not seen that. Stefano would have said, hey, Ben, chill out. But even seeing Stefano play the part he played, he knows what has been going on. He's been a part of what's been going on, and he was doing his best to mediate that situation so that it wouldn't get exposed and possibly come back to bite them all in the ass. That's why you see him, hey, yo, chill, Ben, chill. Ben, chill. That's why you see all that. And if you look at Christian's face, he's looking like, damn, is this shit really happening? He's really saying this shit? And Christian, good job. You bit your tongue. You chose not to go out there like that, because why? You realize then damn, we might have a situation that can this be resolved? And it's better for me not to say anything. We'll get together behind the scenes with the powers to be and work all this shit out. Because there are some connections there between Ben, Christian, Red Bull, Helmut, Stefano. There are some connections there. We're going to talk about those too. But yeah, that's pretty much what you saw. And when that happens, it usually falls apart. Name one movie where people that do crime together eventually don't either have somebody infiltrate or somebody that's inside kill what's going on and the shit just falls apart. It's going to fall apart eventually. I mean, you gotta stop while you're ahead a lot sooner than you like to in order to have an opportunity or even a chance for you not to get exposed to the point everything falls apart. You go to jail, you get a sentence, you get punished, you get banned. You got to stop well before it. And this is what I'm about to say this right now. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I ain't got a problem being wrong. I mean, it's only a forecast. I'm only forecasting. I'm only hypothesizing. I'm only like thinking of what could be. I do not think Max Verstappen gets more than 3 driver championships between now and when his contract is up in 2028. I don't think Max gets more than 3 championships. Actually, you know what? I'm a give him 4. I don't think he eclipses Vettel. I think he might match Vettel. I'm going to give him 4. I don't think he surpasses 4 driver championships by the time his contract in 2028 is up. Now, if he gets an extension, I'm not going beyond that. I'm saying by 2028, Max doesn't get more than 4 championships. That's what I think. I think with the introduction of Audi, if they come in competitive, I think they bring some differences. I think that organizationally wise, and if economy changes for teams to either acquire what they once lost or acquire and replace things that are better than they once lost, that changes the way these teams develop. Already the course of time is going to allow teams to get more acquainted with their philosophies and what they want to do and how they should do it. And then those things also will be realized in performance. So that's going to make things competitive. It's already known and seen that Max does not do well under pressure of equal competition. We saw that with Lewis Hamilton in 2021 when they had a very competitive car. We saw what happened there, and we saw what had to happen in order for Max to get his first championship. And now this season, we see in small glimpses when Max has been challenged in a very competitive fashion that his mentality and his mind frame in that environment is not as strong as it is when he's front running. That's going to also change. In Formula One, if you're standing still, you're getting passed. And these teams at this point in time, especially the top teams, even Aston Martin, are going to be striving to improve their car, improve their driver pairings, improve their administration as we see team principals and CEOs being promoted. They are going to be coming. Ferrari's going to be there. Whether Ferrari can be competitive to the point or not that we think they should be, we're still going to say Ferrari at some portion, whether it's the first part or the middle part. I'm not going to give them the second part of the season. I think that's too much time for Ferrari to fumble up things, but they're going to be competitive in that. McLaren is coming. They're going to be competitive in that. They have a new driver pairing. Lando, I think, will continue to grow as a driver. Oscar Piastri is something that we're going to have to see. Is he going to be a driver that can bring more to the team than Danny Ricciardo did not bring? These are things that are going to happen. Also, we have to consider this. Russell, although we have discrepancies or we have some ill feelings about the things that Russell may have done, Russell is a very competitive person. Lightweight, a little bit of Max Verstappen with some of his ability or driving, but nowhere near as crash Mad Max Verstappen type happening. So the GOAT Lewis Hamilton getting a car that should be more competitive next season. Let's just be honest. Even if you don't like Mercedes, you better damn well respect the fact that Mercedes made the progress that they did in a season where they came out with a design that shot them in the ass. And the progress they made replacing Ferrari being a competitive team against Red Bull, although not competitive enough, too little, too late. You better be damn well aware that Mercedes is going to come better next season than they did this season. I think that this is an anomaly. I don't think that this is going to be a standard for Mercedes. I expect to see them progress next season and be highly competitive. And if you do see that, you have to wonder year and season after season approaching 2028, is Red Bull going to be able to hold on to Formula One as dominant as Mercedes have in their presence here, as Williams have, as Ferrari have? Will they be able to do that? Is Adrian Newey going to be remaining with Red Bull until 2028? Because he's a big catalyst for why they are where they are. Are Honda going to be with Red Bull until 2028? Because Red Bull powertrains ain't shit. They not. We keep hearing about Red Bull powertrains. When they coming? When are we going to see a real Red Bull powertrain engine, not an overbadging of a Honda motor just saying Red Bull powertrain? Red Bull powertrain is just an overbadge. That's still a Honda, okay? When are we going to see that? I'm just wondering when we're going to see a Red Bull powertrain engine power unit take them to the front of the grid. I'm wondering when that's going to happen. So all those variables, that's a lot to keep intact when you're not your own manufacturer. Mercedes is their own manufacturer. They're going to have Mercedes power units. That's continuity. Ferrari are their own manufacturers. They're going to have Ferrari power units. That's continuity. As unreliable as it was in this season that we saw, it's still continuity. It is. Renault is going to have, which is Alpine, their power unit. Now, I do know that Renault, Alpine at least, as a car manufacturer, have had dealings with Nissan. And I know I've said this, and you know, people climb me like, oh, Alpine runs Renault motors, they couldn't change. They've had dealings with other manufacturers before, just like other companies, whether it be Lotus, Toyota, Japan. There's an introduction of another power unit or engine that could be. And Renault or Alpine as a car manufacturer have had collaborations with Nissan. If Renault as a power unit fails to give them what they need in Formula One, could it ever be possible that Alpine considers doing something else with an engine manufacturer that they have collaborated with within the manufacturing of their cars? Maybe. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. So those are things that we can see. But hey, we will see what happens. I am a father. And I love and pride myself on taking my little one to school, getting her breakfast, dropping her off, kissing her before she goes on her day. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do that, okay? So, hey, I just want to come on, spend a little time in the morning with you all. Big shout out to everybody joining me. Musa, good to see you in the live chat, bro. Ram, bro, you got to make it to these live chats. I don't see you yet, but I know you're going to watch the video. Mary Beanie is always a true soldier, always dedicated, always there. 1, 2, 3 in the morning, Mary going to be there. I could probably wake up and do a live 2 a.m. standard U.S. time, and she'll be there. A Condu, big shout out to you. That VIP member as well. Racer X210, big shout out to you. Hey, everybody that pulled up in here, all the Wolfpack family members, I'm just waiting to see one of these badges turn green so we can go ahead and get those free T-shirts out to you. So, hey, stay tuned. We will be coming with more content. Live racing this weekend. All right, I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.